resistance is a cauldron of pressure, and that is ratcheted up when you go on the road. And this highly ranked squad has found itself coming into a snake pit in this one. Welcome, everyone, to Orlando, Florida, the bounce house, home of the UcF Knights. As we'll see a team looking to make it back to the CFP this year, the Houston Cougars. Taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the UcF Knights. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. Nothing wrong with the touchback, and they wish they had one right now, but he stopped at the 9-yard line. The Knights offense will go on the attack first. A long way to go for this offense. Running back searching for a hole. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
Rides the back on the option to give. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
They're trying to slow that rush down with the draw. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. The Knights will call on their punt team. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. Sometimes avoiding disaster is the best thing. The punter just gets it out of there. And there he goes. The speed, the shiftiness, the elusiveness, all on display in that sweet return there. Houston's offense will try to get something started with their first possession. This offense has it with really good field position. Power football with the run. Gets it all the way down to the 2-yard line. He was fighting for that end zone. Houston going up tempo. Keeping it on the ground on 1st and goal. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown Cougars. Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. When you're handed a break with unbelievable field position like that, you better finish the deal, and they did.
You saw the quarterback jog on the field. I think he gave a high five to every one of those players coming off that just put them in position to go score that touchdown. That QB knew this was a golden opportunity, and boy, he took advantage of it.
The give to the tailback. Maybe picked up a couple as he gets it to the 14.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
And they're not quite in rhythm there. It's incomplete.
Well, this defense knew coming in they were going to see some RPO and they were going to see some quick game. A nice job there taking the throw away from the quarterback.
After the second down misfire, looking at a 3rd and 8. Finds his tight end. This offense has a little room and a fresh set of downs at the 23. The Knights will have it 1st and 10. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Quarterback on the keeper. Trying to tackle this guy's a business decision as he gets it up to the 29.
Yeah, and how about the QB? Calls his own number and all these options, obviously multiple plays. He decides to stick with it, get some positive yards, and now what's next off of that? What's my next read off of that? How am I going to mix things up and keep this defense off balance?
The give to the back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Quick completion on the out route. It's a game of first downs, and they've got one out to their own 37. The Knights are on the move. Defense trying to keep this offense from getting a line on who to block. Let's send the tight end in motion. To the ground with the back. Past the first down marker and still running. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
You run the slant route day one, and this is something that the quarterback and the wide receiver has done 100 million times out there on the field in the offseason. I see man-to-man coverage. I know I can run the slant. Boom, stick my foot in the ground.
Lets it fly deep downfield. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Going the other way, and he's got room. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
And the defender makes a great read, breaks on the football, and makes the big interception in the back end. Here's the thing. That's number 4 this season, so he's finding the football consistently.
Right on the money. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
Breaks into the open. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
You ain't getting by all these guys right up the middle unless your offensive line and your tight ends and everybody is putting in the work up front, committing to blocking. The running back does a great job finding the hole, exploding through. How about that nice, big, huge gain? If I'm the OC, let's call that one again.
Found a little bit of room to operate, but he'll be stopped just short of the first down. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. And they'll wrestle him to the ground after a short gain.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Oh, he makes the catch. Really nice job to convert that third down, and they've got it at the 33.
When this offense wants to, boy, they can go fast. After the completion and first down, right back to the line of scrimmage for more tempo.
Nice move there. He's run out of bounds, and they'll say he stepped down at the 27. That's the end of the period, and Houston has the lead. We've put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. Lots of time left and ready to go back at it here in the second quarter. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
This offense has to get this guy the ball in as many ways as possible. He showed you all of his tools on that last play.
From the red zone, looking for a man. Quick strike complete. And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Wants to go up top. Caught in the backfield. It's Ward. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be first and goal. And the Cougars, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive. Sneaks it in.
And that's what makes this quarterback so dangerous, fellas. He can hurt you throwing the ball, but man, is he ever dangerous and explosive with his feet. You have got to be able to get this guy on the ground. If you don't, he has got way too much wiggle and speed. You saw it right there.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The UCF offense back on the field, ready to go to work. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Back to pass. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at third down.
You just wonder if the quarterback's trying to get it all back after throwing a pick the last time out. This time, that was not a good read. The defender was all over that throw. He should have intercepted that, but thanks to the drop, the offense stays on the field. This quarterback has got to take a breath, and he's got to settle himself down.
That'll be enough for the first down, and they'll mark it at the 48.
This tight end is such a weapon because he can line up all over the field. That time he starts in the slot, he's running the corner route against zone coverage, and he's just got athleticism and wiggle and the ability to separate and make big plays. It's so nice to have a target like that.
Running with some authority as he bangs his way to the 43.
And that's what I love about this offense. You're not going to get all of your big chunk plays in the passing game by throwing it deep down the field. You can kind of dink and dunk. And on that RPO play, they had it dialed up and set up to go to that player in the right flat. Nice job.
And with that incompletion, man, this crowd, I don't know that they are really happy about what's going on. I mean, they already built a deficit, and they don't have a lot to cheer about. They got to get some kind of rhythm, something going on this offense to ignite this fan base.
Oh, that slithered right through his fingers and would have been his second interception of the game. Instead, it's fourth down. This offense gets into plus territory. They're going to go for it regardless of their field goal kicker's range. On fourth down, trying to find his man. Oh, he dropped it. He just lost his concentration and didn't look it all the way in.
Man, sometimes the best defense is getting a little bit lucky. He was open. He had a chance to make a play. He just drops it through his hand. It was pretty good defense, but you take those breaks.
He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And it's incomplete. Good play downfield by the DB.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He's going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.
Calls his own number. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely. The Cougars come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Bringing the heat. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
He does a good job of dropping back, going through his progressions. Nothing there. What do? Go get some yardage. Make it positive. Don't sit back in the pocket and force something into a bad situation or take a sack. Great job making something out of nothing.
The Cougars can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down. They'll try to snap it quickly.
Defense gives up the pretty big run. They get the first down, and listen, you got to reload quick now because this offense, they got their foot on the accelerator.
Tackle is made right at the 20-yard line after a pickup of 4. Second down, he'll throw it. Throws toward the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Snagged in the end zone to give them 6. No midseason concentration lapse here in Week 7 as they push out that lead. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in the game.
Can't hang on, and he'll tell you he really should have made that catch, and he had an opportunity right in the middle. It'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Second down, they'll go to the air. Quickly out to the tight end. Few things on offense as reliable as a tough power back as he plows his way ahead to the 33.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
And the rush will get to him at the 25.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity. You know the quarterback was excited. He saw man coverage. He thought he was going to have an opportunity to come up with a big play, but up front they could not protect him well enough.
The Knights send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. And here comes the punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Makes the grab.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver. And you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete. And the Cougars come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. Quarterback keeps it, and they're able to get a 3rd down stop here. See if they go for it on 4th.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
On 4th down, they're taking to the air. Makes a grab past the marker. Inside the 35, knocked out of bounds. This offense with a big play, and they'll mark it at the 33. He unleashed a bullet on that pass and converted the 4th down.
Gotta love it. Some people get conservative. Some people don't want to mess up. 4th down, you could tell. He wanted that window, and he threw it as hard as he could. Throws a strike to the wide receiver. Gets the big 4th down conversion.
From the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10.
How about this offense? They're rolling. They got a couple first downs together. Defense. Next, what's your response? What do you got? You got to make some adjustments here.
And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down. 2nd down coming. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Might be changing the route. Wants to fire on 2nd down. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there.
Well, this offense has gone his way early and often in this game. They've gotten into a nice rhythm. That time, though, the defense was expecting the throw going his way. They put a really nice hit on him to force the incompletion.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. He can't quite get there on the scramble. Dangerous with his feet, but this defense rises to the occasion and forces a fourth down. No signs of any kind of kickers. They'll leave the offense out there to try to move those chains. Motion from the back. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Touchdown, Houston. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
You talk about going on the road and making a statement. 27-0. Hostile environment be danged. You talk about home field advantage. Well, it hasn't worked. They have come in and had answers and started this first half as good as you possibly can.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Now the UCF offense ready to go back to work. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3-and-out the last time they had the ball. They'll give it to the back. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe. 2nd and 7.
They have just not been able to get this guy into a rhythm so far in this game. I know it's still the first half, but there's been nothing going for him like you just saw in that last run. He's an outstanding talent. You may have to start thinking about throwing him the football, getting him out in the perimeter in space to let him go to work. He's got to touch the ball for you to come back in this game. Right now, running it, though, very difficult.
That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Gentlemen, 1 half in the books, and I am eagerly looking forward to that second half in Orlando. And how can we begin our analysis of that first half without singing the praises of one of the elite backs in football? Racking up huge numbers on the ground, even throwing the occasional block. This kid is the total package. And if this defense doesn't adjust its strategy, he could be headed towards a career day. And with that, let's send it back to the guys just down the road from our EA Sports studios at the Bounce House.
All right, Kevin, about ready to start the second half here. The Knights will kick it off to start the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Houston offense ready to go back to work. They'll keep it on the ground to start the second half. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground.
This is going to be a big key for him, David, with the lead here in the second half, running the football, right? Staying on the field and bleeding the clock.
Yeah, run the football. You're ahead. You can be a little bit more conservative. But again, this opens up the pass. This keeps everything in balance for this offense.
Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Looking to fire. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection.
That's a throw the QB would like to have back. He just has to do a better job giving his receiver a chance to make the catch.
They couldn't make the connection on second down. Now a 3rd and 7 to keep the drive alive. From the gun, wants to pass. Using the quick game. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down. That's now 200 catches in his career.
It's so impressive because of his dependability. This guy has been consistent, David, week in, week out. He shows up, and he makes plays.
And it's easy to coach a guy like that. Consistent, does the work, catches the football. You know where he's going to be. That's why he's got 200 catches.
Quarterback may change this route. They're throwing for it on 4th down. Hauls it in, the first down and more. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down. The definition of 4-down territory has changed over the last few years. It extended into their own territory there.
Anywhere, everywhere, just look at the card, right? That card's supposed to tell us what to do, but maybe I'll go for it anyways. This offense took a little bit of a gamble, but they get the first down. Nothing to worry about.
Bounced off his feet.
I love it. The defense brings extra bodies near the line of scrimmage. They choose to blitz, get to him, try to speed up the processor just a little bit, force this.
There he goes. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down. Houston coming to the line with a new set of downs. Off the play fake on first down. Grabbed in the middle. It's Ward. Gets him on the ground at the 28, but not before a big 10-yard pickup. Now on the move at the 28-yard line on first down. Rides to back and leaves it. Can't get him to the ground. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground. Houston wants to play fast.
That's a first down for the offense.
They'll run the option. Quick toss. Wrestled to the ground, but he's inside the 10 and down to the 9.
Just really solid play by this offense. Nice job. Whatever the defense gives you the option, they're trying to make you wrong. The problem is, defensively, you got so much.
Intercepted, and that's not how you want to start a half. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
It's all about making plays, and this guy's been waiting to make his mark on this team. He gets his first interception of the season, and what a momentum-changing play for his team.
Wants to go up top on first down. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack.
This is a top 25 defense, guys. One of the best units in the entire country. They're so good situationally, and they understand the importance of getting leads early, making the offense predictable, having to throw in these types of situations so they can adjust accordingly. And that's what they're doing right now. Their coverage is being dictated by the scoreboard. They're going to make it really, really hard on this quarterback here in the second half to throw any completions.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. The Knights line up to punt it away. Makes the catch, and now looking for just a little bit of daylight. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. The Houston offense comes onto the field. Looking downfield on first down. Gets it out fast. Huge play there into plus territory, and they'll mark him out of bounds at the 46. The offense setting up shop at the 46, 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Fired that thing out in a heartbeat, but it's incomplete.
Well, no surprise there on defense, right? You know the QB is going to be trying to target this guy. Nice job in coverage forcing that incompletion.
Going to sling it on 2nd down. Makes the catch. And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup. The Cougars really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. They just keep firing. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They've been trying all game long, different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls incomplete.
Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. This Houston offense about to snap it on first down again. To the air on first down. Firing to the right, complete. Oh, he's got some space. They make the stop, but the sweet throw and catch is plenty to give them a first down. Houston will snap it in the red zone.
Here we go.
On the run, it's Hunt. Defense there to stop him after he picked up a yard. Ball's at the 17. After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Wants to go up top. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
That's an awesome job by the defense. They're sniffing out the screen, reading the body language of the running back. They were not fooled, and they knocked it away.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. And on 4th down, here comes the field goal unit. He'll line it up from 34 yards out. And he curls that thing just inside the left upright. Well, that's just piling on. Not the penalty kind, just the mean kind.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
90 yards in front of them as they start the drive at their own 10. They'll go to the ground. Not much to show for it. This defense has kept them bottled up all day.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. As we enter the 4th quarter, let's see if anything memorable can... from this one. After swapping ends of the field, they gave him a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on 3rd down. Back to throw, it's Barres. Oh, and the ball squirts out near their own goal line. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover. A huge opportunity, guys, for this offense to take over after the fumble recovery and start 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line. Houston going up tempo. They go right back to their man on 2nd and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Houston. Hello. They add on another one, and they're about to push their record to 5-1.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the O.
Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. UcF has it once again. What do you think about that? This one feels as if it's starting to get away from them a little bit, Jesse.
Yeah, Reese, there's a lot of teams in college football at this point that would just quit. So, David, we're going to find out a lot about this team right here.
Yeah, just running out of opportunities. You give opportunities away like this, you're trailing. Every possession is going to be important from here on in.
Right back to the air on 2nd and 10. Snagged in the middle, it's Johnson. They'll get it to the 48, no need to measure, it's a first down.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain a little bit of confidence that they can keep coaching up heading into their next game.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
They go to the ground. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them.
Quarterback can pull the trigger, and down he goes at the 41. The Knights will try to pin them back with the punt. Here's the return. He'll be guided out of bounds, but not before a nifty return on that one. Houston sending the offense back onto the field. They'll try the run. Plows through the defense.
I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
Dropping back, it's Sparks. Safe completion on the screen. He stopped at the 48, a pickup of 10 on the play. Plays like that put just a second of hesitation in the defense to make sure, and they're able to take advantage here.
And they use great timing with this call, right? Like, you can't call this play all the time, but you want to catch them when they're a little bit aggressive, not thinking about it. Nice job slipping the screen behind them, making the easy catch, and then getting downfield, picking up some extra yards.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
Man, not much wiggle room for the ball carrier there.
I'm not really sure what they can do to try to create some space.
I know. Block back. How about the offensive lineman push some guy backwards and make some holes?
All down, but he has enough to move the chains. Houston getting set, looking at 1st and 10. From the red zone, looking for a receiver. He's got him. That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike. Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that 1st down. They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend. They make the stop at the 2, but he's got enough to give them a 1st and goal. Houston wants to play fast. He might want another play. From the gun, he'll try to throw. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver, he's going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
He's got it down to the 1-yard line, right on the doorstep of Pater. We've reached a 2-minute timeout. In all likelihood, they could just run the clock out. We'll see if they want to rub a little salt in the wound. All they need is 1 yard, and they got nothing on the last play. Here's 3rd down. Slams it ahead. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their total.
And this always is the debate of where you fall. It's your job to stop me, or I should get conserved, because this offense obviously has had themselves a day, and apparently their day's not over. They're going to continue to keep scoring, and the defense better do something about it.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The UcF offense back on the field, ready to go to work. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football.
Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. Got room on the return. Touchdown, Houston. Hello. This defense making a big play and putting it in the end zone. They put another score on the board as they try to push this winning streak to 3. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
A lot of interest in this CUSA showdown today, so let's catch you up to speed on things. Kennesaw State looks like it sent the JV squad out there today. An offense that can't move the sticks and a defense that looks disinterested. They're trailing by 19 to Liberty.
Use the play fake, now to throw. Finds his man, it's Johnson.
We'll keep you updated as this one goes forward in a game that could shake up the CUSA race significantly.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. He's knocked down a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage.
They just haven't been able to get much going in this game. The defense has definitely had their number, and here they are late. You're asking yourself, why are they still running the football, trailing this much late in the game? But that's basically a microcosm of how this game has gone.
It's on target and complete. He'll have enough to move the chains. It's first down at the 38. Last completion moved the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. Off the play fake. Makes the grab. It's Thompson. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I think for that play to work, you need to have some access and cushion coverage for the receiver to be able to do something with it after the catch. That time, the defender was just way too close, all over him, and he tackles him for no gain.
Couldn't ask for much more there. A first down, and they're down to the 42. After not really playing their best earlier this season, people said, this team is bad. Now they've won 3 in a row. This team is good. People are fickle.
Yeah, and we're probably the ones who were saying that a little bit, Reese, because they were struggling. It didn't look like they knew who they were, and they didn't have the momentum going, but